Praise be to Jesus. We give God praise. We thank God for His grace ushering us into December, 12 good months. Isn't He faithful? He is. All right. Judges chapter 12. Let's see the language you are speaking. Judges chapter 12 verse 4. Now Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought against Ephraim. And the men of Gilead defeated Ephraim because they said, "You Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites." The Gileadites seized the fords of the Jordan before the Ephraimites arrived. And when any Ephraimite who escaped said, "Let me cross over," the men of Gilead would say to him, "Are you an Ephraimite? Are you a Christian? Are you a child of God? You must be able to speak the language of the family of God." If he said no, then they would say to him, "Then say Shibboleth." Shibboleth. Shibboleth, which means a branch. And he would say Sibboleth. Omitting one letter, the H, changes everything. What happened to them? And he would say Sibboleth, for he could not pronounce it right. As a child of God, you must be able to speak the language of God eloquently. You must desire to grow in understanding what God has done for the family of God. You must know the heart of God and drive towards it. And he will say Sibboleth, for he could not pronounce it right. Then they would take him and kill him at the fords of the Jordan. There fell at that time 42,000 Ephraimites. Two tribes fighting. They looked similar. They couldn't distinguish between the two families. So what did they do? They did what we call the language test. Say Shibboleth. If you could not pronounce it Shibboleth and you said Sibboleth, you were seized and you were killed. Now, God has a language. God has a flow. And all Christians must flow like that. The word Shibboleth means a branch. The word Sibboleth means a burden. You cannot be a burden when you are supposed to be a branch. A branch is an extension of a tree. A branch in Christendom is an extension of God's governance, representing God well, expressing God in a space, extending God's grace. But if you cannot speak what God is speaking to you in the church, outside the church, then you don't qualify. We must be able to represent and represent Him well. Shibboleth means a branch. But if you say Sibboleth, it means a burden. May you become a branch to your family and not a burden. May you become a branch to the family of God and not a burden. May you become a branch, an extension, a force for your community and nation. May you never become a burden. Why? Because Isaiah chapter 4 verse 2 says, "In that day, the branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and appealing for those of Israel who have escaped." The branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious. If you represent God well, you give God glory. If you are a branch of God, you give God glory. Are you a burden to your church, a burden to the family, or you are a branch to the family? And a branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious. May you receive this favor. As you represent God well by becoming an extension, a branch, the Bible says in Isaiah 4:2, "The branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious." May God beautify your space. May God beautify your December. As you welcome December, it will be well with you. It shall be well with you, and it shall be glorious with you. Every day will be beautiful. Every day will be glorious. Glory. You will be a branch and not a burden. You will pass the language test because you are a child of God. This is Pastor Edamado, and God bless you.